NPR Morning Edition host Steve Inskeep is on the Suncoast tonight for an event to talk about his career and new book. I sat down with him today at an earlier event in Tampa. Take a look. As host of NPR's Morning Edition, Steve Inskeep doesn't travel as much as he used to for news stories, but he still tries to get out of the studio when he can.
Week before last, I was in Kentucky, 530 feet underground, 530 feet underground in a coal mine. In a few weeks, I may be in the Middle East again.
Inskeep is appearing in Tampa and Sarasota for public events. He sat down with SNN for an interview, and the presidential campaign in Florida came up.
You have Donald Trump, who's owned a large estate in Florida, owned property here. And, you know, he's a New York guy, and there's a chunk of Florida that's an extension of New York, isn't it? So this is an epicenter of the campaign. Maybe we shouldn't be too surprised that Rubio and Bush are not on top even in Florida, because there's a lot of competition.
Listeners on the Suncoast can hear Steve Inskeep weekday mornings at WUSF 89.7 for his Morning Edition show. Inskeep is also author of the new book Jacksonland, President Andrew Jackson, Cherokee Chief John Ross, and the Great American Land Grab.
To me, it's a story about democracy. It's a story of two guys fighting it out, essentially over real estate in a democracy. And it's a story that feels really modern to me.
As someone who travels to the Middle East, Inskeep offers his perspective of the notion of terrorism fears.
Different kind of a threat, because you have individuals who might not be directly connected to ISIS or any other large group, but they're inspired in some fashion and suddenly strike out. And that scares people. Travel around, you discover that there are other places that are far, far more dangerous and far, far more troubled. And we're really quite lucky to live where we are.
And Inskeep is appearing tonight for a question and answer session at USF's Sarasota Manatee.